All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are getting Pausaltine doing a run of Shadow Dancer: The Secret of Shinobi. So, Paul, whenever you're ready, give us that 3, 2, 1 countdown and best of luck on the run.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys may be. My name is Paul Saltine. I'm going to be doing a run of Shadow Dancer: Secret of Shinobi on the Sega Genesis. So this is the second game in essentially the three-game Shinobi trilogy on the Genesis. Pretty quick yet challenging speed run here. You're going to see a lot of opportunities for myself to die. In a perfect speed run, I'm not going to die. This is probably not going to be the perfect speed run here today. Unfortunately, a lot of enemies will kill you in one hit. We're going to try our best to not die, and hopefully the RNG gods will be on our side. And maybe we pull out a good run here this morning. So I am ready when you are. I'm going to give you the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this game kind of comes in like brief spurts of action, followed by little breaks in the game through like a bonus mini game after each boss. There are basically three ways to attack enemies in this game. The first is using traditional shurikens. However, if you get close enough to an enemy, you can actually just kick them, which is preferable to using the shurikens, because the shurikens, you can't actually move while you're throwing them unless you do it while you're midair. So it's quicker to attack enemies up close by kicking them if possible. The third is using some ninjutsu magic. That's very slow, and we're only going to use that a couple times throughout the run here. And right away, we're at the stage 1 boss. And he's gone. So with that boss, it's really... The rocks falling may seem like RNG, but if you always do the same thing over and over, the RNG kind of gets set so the rocks always fall in the same spot. And then it's essentially just timing up your shots to kill the boss as quickly as possible. And so now we're in one of these little mini bonus stages. This happens after every boss fight. It's essentially a chance to farm lives, because if you're casually playing this game, you're probably going to need the lives. There's 50 ninjas here. If you kill all of them as you're falling, you get 3 up. I think if you get 49, you get 2 up. And the best part is if you hit 0, the game has pity on you and just gives you a 1 up anyway. But if you actually hit more than 0 enemies, they just give you bonus points. And just like that, we're on to the second stage. Ooh. Okay, that was a bit of a mistake on my part, but that's no problem. We didn't die. The problem with a game where it's one-hit deaths, like, mistakes are usually fatal. Oh, another mistake. Ooh, boy. Okay. We're very lucky to get out of there alive. Okay. All right, so the next boss coming up, there is actually a quick kill we're going to go for. It's execution dependent, but it's also a little bit of RNG. So basically what we're going to try to do is we're going to hit him with the shuriken, and then we're going to activate our ninjutsu. If there's a second shuriken overlapping his hitbox when we hit the ground, it'll stun lock him and just kill him with 1 shot. See if he gives us good RNG to do it. Maybe. No, we missed every shot instead. Excellent. So the problem is with this... Ooh. Okay, he's being a bit of a... butthead here. Wow, okay. So that's probably one of the worst Grover fights you can have, but we're gonna get a second chance at the quick kill here. That's a better spawn. There, okay, we got it this time. Excellent. Perfect. Yeah, so as I hit the ground, so you can activate your your ninjutsu in the air, but it won't actually activate until you hit the ground. It gives you a little bit of a window to actually get the overlapping hitbox there, but it's complete RNG where that boss spawns. He's either going to spawn at a different height or a distance away from you. The distance you can adjust to get the quick kill, but the height, really, there's only a couple of heights that his face can spawn at where it gives you a good opportunity to be able to get that quick kill. Because if the head spawns too low or too high, it's just way too hard to get the height matched up. Okay, so this stage 3-1, things get a little bit more challenging. This is the stage where your inputs can get eaten, and that's basically that's not what we want to have happen, because it's like a kiss of death. Oh god, okay, and it happened right there. Good recovery, though. I'll take that. So that's really the only issue with this game. Other than the fact that it is quite challenging, your inputs can get eaten, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that where we are speedrunning this, we tend to not kill a whole lot of enemies, so you end up being so many sprites on screen. But you get a bit of lag, a bit of slowdown, and then that in turn just sometimes just eats your jump inputs. Wow, okay. Dying in the auto-scroller, excellent. Yeah, so this is basically just a little auto-scroller section here before the next boss. Very interesting strategy coming up on the next boss here. I think casually, the stage 3 boss coming up is probably the hardest boss in the game. But thankfully, we have a little bit of a trick to make the boss fight infinitely easier. We'll see it here in a second. Yeah, so the hardest part of this auto-scroll here is just lumping those 4 ninjas together so you can just kill them all with 2 sword swipes instead of like 8. All right, boss fight coming up. Here we go. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna inch slowly towards the boss. Instead of actually attacking, we just casually nudge the boss off the platform. Casually, yeah, that fight is very challenging. Okay, so stage 4. There's only 5 stages in this game. 5 stages and then the final boss. This is where the difficulty increases a lot. So, like, I'm probably not going to say a whole lot in the next stage because I'm really just going to need the focus to do it. I will say, though, that the stage 4 boss fight is hugely a big amount of RNG in the game. It is basically what separates a world record run from like a otherwise good run. What we're going to do is we're going to activate our ninjutsu early, and then we're going to see what RNG pattern it gives us to be able to attack it quickly or not. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the other side. Ah. Jumped a little too late there, and I missed that last hostage. Yo, by the way, yeah, to clear each stage, you got to get all the hostages. Okay, good. I would say 4-2, that stage right there is probably the hardest in the game. It really doesn't help that you can't see half the enemies that you're trying to kill. You kind of just have to know where they are. And here's Wheel of RNG. We're going to activate our ninjutsu. Otherwise, he just spins around us forever. Oh, and that is... He actually just gave us the perfect RNG. And I messed up the timing on it. Ah. Otherwise, okay fight. So yeah, basically the wheel there can either circle around you 2 whole times, which is like the worst thing that it can do, or it can just circle around you once, which is fine, or it can just move up and down a little bit. Ideally, you want it to move as little as possible, but sometimes it can be difficult to get ready for hitting it again. Otherwise, if you don't hit it quick enough, it attacks you. And if you're fairly close to the wheel, it's kind of hard to get away from the fireballs. All right, we are coming up to the final stage. This is a bit of like a mini, not a boss rush per se, but a bit of an enemy rush. This is pretty challenging too, so let's see what we can do here. Oh, yep. We're going to get shot right in the face. I would say that room 1 is probably the hardest. Yeah, come down here. Yeah, thank you. Room 4 is pretty tough as well. Room 3, these green dudes here will kill you instantly if they touch you. Most other enemies will actually bounce you backwards instead. And this room here, final room before the final boss, is pretty heartbreaking. There's enough enemies on screen here that it can eat your input and kill you right before the boss room, but we're okay, we're good. And we are into the final boss fight. So this guy is basically just going to spawn waves of ninjas at us. Thankfully, we know the pattern that these ninjas spawn in. The ninjas are going to do one of 2 things. They're either going to jump at us or they're going to roll at us. For the ones that roll, we kind of just move to the side of the screen. That way they roll towards us. But if we're at the side of the screen, they just roll right off screen. It's much quicker than letting them roll all the way across the screen. And unfortunately, this guy can be very unpredictable with how quickly he spawns these ninjas. We want him to spawn fairly quickly, but not so quickly that we get overcome, which can happen here. So we'll see what he gives us. Okay, good, we're good. He can spawn those last 2 ninjas while the other 2 are still on screen, which makes it very difficult. And, okay, so this is going to be our last wave of enemies. So time is coming up when it fades to black. Yep, that's the last of the ninjas, unless we miss a hit here. No, we're good. All right, there we go. Time is coming up. Time. All right, yeah, and after all of that, yeah, by the way, we were saving New York. New York was in trouble. But yeah, New York is okay again now. So yeah, that's Shadow Dancer. The boss fight can go horribly. I would say that was a pretty good boss fight. If you miss any of the hits, the cycles just loop back around again. Which just costs you so much time. Way too much time. All right, well, that is it for me. I'd like to thank you guys for having me once again. I know I've run for Game Over in the past. Absolutely love participating in any event that can help great charities such as the Canadian Cancer Society. I absolutely appreciate being here. Appreciate the opportunity. And if you like this run, if you like the game, I am on the world record hunt right now for this. My PB is a 12:32. World record is 12:17, which you may say, oh, you're kind of far away from the world record, but all we need is a good run where we get a good RNG on the wheel and we just do everything else perfectly. And world record is just very attainable.
Well, awesome, man. That was a super fun run to watch, and thank you so much for being part of the event this time around.
Absolutely appreciate you guys having me.
All right, folks. Well, we are going to go to a very brief intermission, but don't go anywhere because we are going to come back with some more speedruns.